officially declared this place open, President, what does it mean now for the people of French Quarter?
Well, as you know, in my campaign pamphlet, I always said that one of the concepts I wanted to put in place was to bring the administration to the population. And this is part of it because we know most of our population don't have transportation or are in a physical situation where they can go all the way to Marigot. So for the small use in the administrative, I would say, aspect, we wanted to bring that service in certain areas. And you know, French Quarter and Saint-Légon have been both hit very hard by the hurricane, so it's even more important today, more than a symbolic, to have these two public services open in these areas. Of course, other areas such as Richtepont, such as Cul-de-Sac, Brancas can come. Maybe it's easier for them to come to this place than to go to Marigot and have these different services functioning. The social services, part of the state services and part of the collectivity services. And as I said, I am doing also the same thing with our territorial police and have also proximity around these different areas. And we are working in a collaboration with our territorial police and the gendarmerie to also have this proximity, because it's not always about, we call it, it's not an aggression, having police and more police. It's also to be able to prevent, to be able to discuss, to be able to, everybody needs to feel secure wherever they are, no matter what part of Saint Martin. So this is what we want to bring to our population. It was not easy to put in place in the sense that, you know what happened after hurricane, things had to go with priorities. This was one. And I thank the whole team that helped to put this together. But again, it is for the population, and the success of this area will be whether it will be used or not by the population.
Interestingly, you spoke of taking the, in fact, establishing sub-police stations in the different neighborhoods. How soon do we foresee this at least taking off?
Well, we are already functioning. We're in the merge of signing the convention, but we are already practically functioning. We will have one in French Quarter, one in Saint-Légon. We are working with that closely with the services of the prefecture. But we are today functioning and patrolling with the gendarmes and our territorial police. So this is one part, but there's also a police of proximity that I just put in place. I have a unit of 5 or 6 person who are already circulating also in different areas to be able to see some simple things. You have a neighbor problem, in order to report it. You have any technical problem with something special, at least we take note of. And also we bring the information to the population on certain things that could be done and others not to be done, direct to different services, service above all.
If I may ask you a final question, Mr. President. Based on the establishment of this public services house, what kind of a demand was there for that?
Well, it was a campaign promise because we considered that the population in these areas felt left out from the capital, if we can call it so. So it is only natural that we are to the result of what we have today. But I think it's, and if you ask in different villages, that when you see the traffic to go in town, when you see the complications of you need to have a vehicle, you need to take a bus that is not always maybe on the time that you would wish it to be. It is always easier to have those services close by, and this is what we're trying to do and the best of our capacity. So of course there's always more to be done, maybe better, but it's a start, and I'm happy that we finalize the two MSP, two public homes and
SXM, connecting you.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Our plans going forward is that we want to work on the rebuilding of St. Martin. We want to contribute as much as possible, and we will do that with the several projects that we have planned. In regards to, for instance, peace, we still have some more peace projects where we're going to promote peace and conflict resolution. That will be then in February, because Rotary has every month a theme, and February 2019 the theme will be peace and conflict. Another big project that we want to embark on is we want to create awareness on epilepsy. So we're planning of running a epilepsy awareness campaign, and we will do that, launching in November and have it run for December. So this is going to be a very big project because we think on the island there are still too many, let's say not much people are aware of epilepsy and what do you do in cases of seizures. And so we want to create a campaign where we're going to promote that, the awareness of epilepsy. Other from that, we have still other projects that's along the line, but you'll hear about it as we go along. Well, I keep mentioning the epileptic project, the epilepsy awareness project, because I myself am epileptic. And on the island, there's no foundation. Or, you have the Diabetes Foundation, you have cervical cancer, we have breast cancer, but there's no foundation on the island on epilepsy. And so that project is very near to me, and that was actually my signature project for the year. So this is something that I really want to pull off. So I'm working very hard on it. Other from that, we had other little projects that we were planning, which we would have had last year, but of course, with the passing of Hurricane Irma, that didn't work out. So we plan of executing those projects as well.
The epilepsy project is very close to your heart. Are any steps being taken at this time to ensure that this become a reality for you and for the general public overall?
Right. So what we're doing now, I'm in the planning phase, of course, and once I got this project, so I'm working on the epilepsy project now, and I'm plan to meet with various doctors, and also hopefully we'll be able to get persons from overseas as well, just to have also a seminar to the public. As we know, in the recent years there are so many developments where persons claim they cured the disease, or it's a chronic illness, they cure it, or there is, for instance, a promotion of marijuana use now, because they said that works for the disease as well. So we would like to get persons, not only from the community but also internationally, who can speak on that. So it's a big project, and yes, I'm planning. I'm still in the first phase, but we'll pull it off.
Hey, Ma. How you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Bib now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices, the Windward Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
On another note, and still looking at the whole reconstruction of St. Martin, I was quite pleased to note the interest of a Dutch EU Member of Parliament. And I am expressing it like this because, as everyone knows, I assume, we also have members in the European Parliament that come from the different countries, including the Netherlands. And so we also have those members of Parliament in the European Union, in the Parliament of the European Union. But what caught my attention, and which I was very pleased for, is the recent inquiries by a Dutch member of the European Parliament, Mrs. Jongerus, to be exact, who inquired about the statement that was made by the European Union regarding assistance coming to St. Martin following Hurricane Irma. Many of you might recall that just a few days coming out of the hurricane, it was stated by representatives of the European Union, the European Union Commission, it was stated that St. Martin would be treated as one. So French and Dutch would be treated as one as far as help from the EU is concerned. As far as I know, because I have not heard differently, nothing really happened as far as that promise was concerned. So in other words, monies for St. Martin specifically for the reconstruction following Hurricane Irma. And so again, I was pleased to hear this Dutch member of the European Parliament pick up this matter. It's not the first time that she did. She did it in the past, the MP that is, and received no response. And she has now turned to the European Ombudsman to get answers from the European Commission on this matter about aiding St. Martin, St. Martin, following the hurricane. Again, I think we need to be looking in all directions, pursuing all avenues where we can bring money to St. Martin to help with reconstruction. We all know about the Dutch funding. We all know about the processes for these fundings via the World Bank, etc., etc. But from all reports, clearly we are going to need much more. And we should continue to pursue whatever possibility is out there for St. Martin to receive funding to continue to build and build back our country. So again, I am very pleased, and I will remind the MP in question to stay on top of it for us, to stay on top of it for St. Martin as far as these EU funds are concerned.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
1,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4,
4.
4. But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2,
3,
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Jose Helaga and I play basketball. I have organized basketball events in St. Martin. Sport matters to me because it makes everybody come together in unity. So I challenge the businesses community to step up for sports and help us rebuild and repair our facility. I'm also asking the community to nominate local businesses in your area to take on the challenge and step up for sport because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sports SXM Facebook page for more information. Hashtag Sport Matter, hashtag Are You In?
A little bit of economics. This is some numbers I put in sequence for both Aruba and St. Martin. This is what we call real per capita GDP. Okay, that is a technical term. So GDP is the total of what we produce in a year, right? Of course, you can't compare that from one year to the other just like that because you have inflation. So when you cancel the inflation out of it and you see the physical production, and you divide that by the number of people, you have an indicator of how productive each person is in society, right? And what we want to see here is a line that goes up, right? Typically in any country in the world, you know, good or bad times, productivity will actually tendentially go up, you know, unless big disasters, war, etc. Typically, that is a positive line. Why? Because technology progresses, you get investments, right? So, tendentially going up. Not so much for us, right? So, there's a paradox right there. So, volume of production increases, right? We got more hotels. Productivity stagnates. It's been roughly the same. Again, statistics a little bit jumpy here and there, but you can see pretty much a flat line, a horizontal trend line as of 1990 forward for both, not coincidentally for Aruba and St. Martin both, you know. It is a trend among small island tourism economies. Not a necessary trend, but an empirical trend, the trend that we can see, right? So this gives you a good indicator for how much further we can go, right? Going on like this, so adding volume without adding quality, you know, we will reach the limits, the physical limits, pretty soon, right? Because it means that for every growth of the economy, you need to occupy more space and pretty much import more people as well, but, you know? Increasing the strain on resources that are by nature of being an island already limited. So what we are stuck with really is a model of development that actually is very unfitting of an island because space is just the one thing that we have very little of, right? So what we are doing, and we being small island tourism economies, is really not a sustainable model, right? So what we want is, you know, quality increase, gearing up productivity, labor productivity as well, and rising the real per capita GDP. Okay, so that's a lesson. That is actually that was a quite surprising finding, actually, but you would think that it would have gone up. So we do quantity very well, we do quality a little bit poorly. So I have to wrap up. So one more conclusion, one more insightful slide, I hope, right? So how does that translate to the composition, the socio-economic composition of society, right? So this is an attempt to make that visible. What they call the income paradox. Because regardless of what I've just been saying, GDP per capita stagnating, a lot of people are actually better off than before. And a lot of people like this model because they themselves and their families have progressed over the years. Which is true at the same time as the average stays the same. So how is that possible? Right? So the answer to that paradox is in immigration. Right? People already here are staying here for a long time, like I showed in a previous slide. They climb up the ladder. They grow more successful, obviously, right? And naturally so. So they, in their entirety, move up the socio-economic ladder. The pyramid, however, is replenished at the bottom with immigrants starting at the lower rungs of the ladder, also pulling the average down, right? So the average flatlining, as I say. But in the perception of the individual that was already here, say, oh, I'm very happy because my part of the pyramid moved up. So there's an individual perception that is clashing with the overall perception, or the overall reality, rather, right?